I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen, and tonight is a special night. We're having chicken fried steak fingers for dinner. Not that that's a big deal, but you know, we don't have those very often, and I got this notion in my head about this restaurant that I used to go to when I was in high school, and that's called the Lucky Wishbone in Tucson, Arizona, and they used to have steak fingers there that were awesome. So let's go make some chicken fried steak fingers and white gravy. Alright, we're going to get started on our steak fingers. These are really, really simple. Now, if you like chicken fried steak, you're going to like chicken fried steak fingers, because really, this just, you cut them into strips, and it's easier to eat, like chicken fingers, right?
The best part, they have more breading.
That's true. Yay for more breading! I put my thawed cube steak package in the freezer for about 20 minutes, just to get them a little on the firm side. Before I cut them into strips, it makes it a lot easier to cut them up, because you know cube steak has a mind of its own and it can tend to be a little unruly, only because it's gone through the cubing machine. But I've cut mine into strips already, and bonus, this was markdown meat. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I have over here, this is very basic. This is probably going to look like your grandma's recipe if your grandma made steak fingers. I have a couple of cups of milk. Again, this is one of those recipes where you just throw some stuff in a bowl and then you throw it in the hot oil and you got something fried and delicious. I mean, that's how you do things in the South. At least that's my experience. But to be quite honest with you, I had purchased these cube steaks with the intention of remaking my chicken fried steak video. But then for some weird reason, I don't know why, there was a restaurant, a takeout place when I was growing up in Tucson called Lucky Wishbone, and it's still there, and anything that could be fried was fried. They had fried chicken, chicken fingers, onion rings, fries, fried mushrooms, they had fried shrimp and fish, and they had everything, and they had steak fingers. And they used to serve it with a little side of white gravy and in a basket with some fries. Everything came in this cute little cardboard box. I don't know if they still do it like that anymore. But Lucky Wishbone used to be the bomb, and we used to love it. It was really in college where we really went there a lot. So this is kind of inspired by my Lucky Wishbone days. And if any of you live in the Southwest in Tucson, you know that Lucky Wishbone is awesome.
And let us know.
I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour in here, and in my little cup here I have a teaspoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of chicken seasoning, a teaspoon of cracked black pepper, and a teaspoon of salt. Now you may think that that's a lot, but to be honest with you, you want to really heavily season your flour, because not all of it is going on your meat. But you want to season at this point. So,
that's good.
Yeah, it does. Now, I use my Szechuan chicken seasoning. You can feel free to use whatever you like, or a blend of whatever seasonings you like best. Onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, whatever you want to throw in here is great. You could throw some poultry seasoning in here if you like. It'll be delicious. Alright, so, we're going to double dip these in the flour. So what's going to happen is it's going to go in the flour, in the milk, and then in the flour, and then on the rack. And then we're going to do all of these up, and we're going to take it over to the fryer. Okay, I've done almost all of my steak strips, but I wanted to bring you in and show you how I do this. It's super simple. You're just going to go ahead and put your strips in the flour, get it nice and coated. Get it really well coated. You don't want to see any pink. Okay? And if it starts to get loose like that, just pull it apart. You know, you'll have a little
nugget.
Cook's treat, a steak nugget. Yeah. Now we're just going to go ahead and drop these steak strips that have been coated in the flour into the milk. And then we're going to drop them back. And at this point, I like to do these individually. I think I'm going to have just enough flour. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish coating these, and then I'll meet you over at the stove. We fry. Okay, you want to make sure that your oil is at least 350 degrees, and we're just going to toss a few of these in at a time. Don't overcrowd your oil, because that is a very bad thing, for two reasons. If you overcrowd your oil, you're going to reduce the temperature much too drastically, at which point whatever you're frying is going to absorb oil instead of just frying in the oil. Secondly, if you put too much in this pan at once, it's going to bubble over, and that's very unsafe for you and whoever may be in your kitchen with you, whether it's your children or your pets or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and fry these until they are a darker golden brown. I don't want them to be burnt, of course, but I don't want them to be too light. I want to make sure that the meat inside is cooked all the way. So it's going to be at least 4 minutes. So I'll be back when it's time to pull these out. All right. This is what I want them to look like. If you like yours lighter or darker, then you should take them out sooner or later. See how that works? We have to employ a little bit of common sense here. So, those are beautiful. I know that meat's going to be cooked. That's the other benefit of doing this in strips, because you get, you know, the satisfaction of having a chicken fried steak, but you also, and there's a crunchy nugget. You also get the ability to cook it a little more quickly. Okay, I wanted to tell you earlier, do not discard your dredging flour or your dredging milk, because we're going to use those to make our gravy now. Now, I've seen a couple, more than a couple. I've seen other people, I know other people who do this in a very similar fashion. This is pretty standard, so my friend Larry over at the Wolfe Pit, if you're not familiar with him, go ahead and take a look at his channel. He does some great stuff. Larry does something very similar to this. So I removed all of my oil with the exception of a ½ cup, and now I'm returning the dredging liquid to the pan, which was also approximately ½ cup. If you find that maybe that isn't enough flour, then you can just go right ahead and add some more. Just add a couple of tablespoons in there and it's all going to be good. You're going to want to cook this just a little while until the flour has taken on a little bit of a nutty flavor. And I am actually going to add,
Aroma.
Yeah, flavor, aroma, that, until it smells nutty.
Yeah, you don't want to taste it yet.
No. I'm going to add a little more flour in here because this is the consistency you're going for. You seriously want it to look like oatmeal. Okay? And cook it because you want to cook all the starch that's in that flour. Alright? You only need to cook this a couple of minutes. You don't want to make a dark roux, but you do want to make sure that it's fully cooked. Now I'm going to take the rest of this milk from our dredge, and I'm just going to stir this really, really well. I'm going to start this gravy, and it's going to thicken up really fast, you see. I'm going to go get some more milk, and I'll be right back. All right. I probably added about 3.5 to 4 cups of milk in total, in with my half a cup of oil and ½ cup of flour. It was really a little more than ½ cup of flour, but I honestly think there was a little more than ½ cup of oil because you want equal parts to make a roux. You saw the consistency that I had it before I started adding the liquid. Now, white gravy, your consistency is going to be based on your personal preference. If you like it super thick, then you should make it super thick. If you like it a little on the thin side, then you should add more liquid. I like mine midline. So, there's enough seasoning that we put in the flour that you shouldn't need to put any more in here. So at this point, what I'm going to say is you can taste it for seasoning and add more if you like. Or what I'm going to do is just leave it and let people season their own serving. Because the meat is very flavorful and the gravy is supposed to be an offset to that. So, our gravy is done. I'm boiling some potatoes. I have all of my steak fingers in the oven. Oops, I'll show you. They're over here. I have them on a rack in a 200-degree oven to keep warm. And I'm waiting on my potatoes to finish boiling, and we'll be back and we'll fix you a plate of delicious steak fingers and white gravy. We'll be back. There you have it, chicken fried steak fingers ready for you to enjoy. The gravy is delicious. We're going to have some sides to go along with it, but this is the finished product. These are delicious. Rick is going to taste it, aren't you, honey?
I have to.
I know.
Somebody's got
The sacrifices that you make for the channel.
Crunchy. Mm-hmm. That is good.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
mm-hmm. You're going to love it. How do you not like chicken fried steak with gravy to dip it in? I mean, come on. So delicious. So give this a try. If you've never made chicken fried steak before, this is a really great place to start. Plus, like I said, if you make it in strips, it goes a lot faster, and the meat cooks a lot quicker. So, I hope you try it. I hope you love it. How are you not going to love that? Until next time, I'll see ya! For joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you liked what you watched today, and I hope that you try it, and I hope that you love it. If you like what you saw, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and giving me a positive rating. And also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber so that you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here in our kitchen every single day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to come by tomorrow. Until next time, happy eating!